Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 42 of Diehlman at Halftime, the NBA podcast that tops all others. I'm your host, Larry Diehlman. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome aboard, and if you've been a loyal listener, welcome back. We have much to get to today and not a lot of time to do it. We have 5 sections that we'll get into: a general overview of the NBA this week, and our usual highlight, lowlight, random stat, and game of the week. Let's get to our content for the week, and I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Now here's a headline. Minnesota Timberwolves superstar Anthony Edwards called out his own team this week, saying they're soft. After a 115-104 loss to the Sacramento Kings on Wednesday, Edwards said, quote, "Our identity right now is we're soft as hell as a team internally. Not to the other team, but internally we're soft. We can't talk to each other. Just a bunch of little kids. Just like we're playing with a bunch of little kids. Everybody, the whole team, and we've got to figure it out because we can't go down this road." Wow. Considering the Timberwolves are not in the top 4 seeds at the moment, as in 11th in the West, coming off a Western Conference Finals appearance, he does have a point. The good news for Minnesota fans is that it's still early in the season. It's early December. There's plenty of time to recover. Can the Timberwolves turn things around? Brooklyn Nets star Cam Thomas is out 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring issue. Thomas had 23 points in 23 minutes in Brooklyn's game at Golden State last Monday before getting injured. He's averaging career highs in almost every major category, including 33.4 minutes, 24.7 points, 46.1% shooting, 38.9% three-point shooting, and 3.4 assists per game. Thomas is tied for his career high with 3.2 rebounds and 0.7 steals per game. The Nets are right in the thick of the play-in tournament seeds, so we'll see if they can tread water while Thomas recovers. We hope he comes back stronger soon. Finally, someone hit a milestone this week. LA Clippers star James Harden reached his 3,000th career triple on Sunday, joining Golden State's Steph Curry as the only players to do so. Harden reached the threshold against the Denver Nuggets as he casually flirted with a 39-point triple-double. 3 triples in the first half put him over 3,000. What an accomplishment for Harden. I'm quite sure he won't be passing Curry anytime soon or ever. The Warriors' flamethrower has 800 more three-pointers. Ray Allen, the record holder just a few years ago, is now 3rd. Damian Lillard of the Milwaukee Bucks might pass him soon too. This episode is entitled Identities. So, who's raising eyebrows at the moment? Let's go to our highlight, the Memphis Grizzlies. After stumbling last season due to injuries galore, the Memphis Grizzlies appear to be right back to where they were before. And no, I did not mean to rhyme that. The Grizzlies are 14-7, 3rd in the West, and on a 6-game winning streak. One of Memphis's issues last year was that superstar Ja Morant returned from a 25-game suspension in December before getting injured just 9 games in. When Morant is on point, Memphis is tough to stop. He's averaging 21.2 points, 4.3 rebounds, and a career-best 9 assists per night. 2 of the Grizzlies' other weapons are Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a defensive threat in the paint, and Desmond Bane. Jackson Jr. was the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year just 2 seasons ago and is putting up 22.4 points, about 6 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks per game. Bane really stepped up last year in Morant's absence, and everyone else's absence for that matter. Other players in Memphis's rotation include former Celtic Marcus Smart, who won the Defensive Player of the Year award the year before Jackson Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr., who was our random stat 3 weeks ago, and rookie center Zach Edey. With an emphasis on defensive-minded players, it's no surprise that the Grizzlies are near the top half of the league in points per game allowed. Will they be a true playoff threat in the coming months? Memphis's next game is tomorrow, Tuesday, December 3rd at 8:30 p.m. They will be on the road to face the Dallas Mavericks. Let's go to our lowlight, the Indiana Pacers. Indiana sports were back on the map last season. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers made the Eastern Conference Finals. Caitlin Clark dominated in her rookie season with the Fever. Now, The Pacers are 9-12 and tied for 8th in the Eastern Conference with Brooklyn. Indiana exceeded expectations last season before Boston eliminated them in the Eastern Conference Finals. They kept some of those games close, though. The franchise guy is Halliburton, who's averaging 17 points, 8.6 assists, and 1.2 steals per contest. Compared to last season, Halliburton's numbers have taken a step back, no pun intended, especially his questionable 40.5% from the field. Pascal Siakam, in his first full season in Indiana after being acquired from Toronto last year, is averaging 20.8 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's hitting 41.3% of his triples, which is a career best. What's not helping the Pacers currently is their injury report. Starters Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith and reserve Ben Shepherd have been sidelined. The Pacers are down 2 backup centers to season-ending injuries. While Indiana's run last year was impressive, I'm not sure they'll replicate it in 2025. Boston and Cleveland are running the conference. Teams like Orlando and Milwaukee are heating up. It might be a long road for the Pacers this time around. Their next game is on Tuesday, December 3rd at 7:30 p.m. They will be in Toronto to take on the Raptors. Let's go over to our random stat. Here's a random stat that's a mouthful. From November 19th through 27th, Oklahoma City's Jalen J-Dub Williams had 4 straight games of 25 or more points and 5 or more assists on 50% shooting at 23 years old or younger. Some of you might claim that's such an ESPN-type stat, Larry. Well, I found it on NBA History's Twitter page, so... The other 10 players to do this: Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bernard King, Reggie Theus, Michael Jordan, Kevin Johnson, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, and Tyrese Halliburton. Doncic, Williamson, and Halliburton are some of the top players in today's game. Guys like Robertson, Abdul-Jabbar, James, and Jordan are obviously Hall of Famers. Basically, this is a good list of players to be with. With Williams' help, the Thunder went 3-1 in that aforementioned 4-game stretch. 3 of them were road contests. J-Dub has been a building block for Oklahoma City's young core, and he's a big reason why they're at the top of the Western Conference. He's averaging career highs across the board, including doubling his steals per game average from last season. We mentioned J-Dub being near the top of the league in steals per game in last week's random stat when we discussed Atlanta Hawks guard Dyson Daniels. Williams has also stepped up in the absence of Chet Holmgren, who's out for a while with a hip issue. Williams being this consistent means the Thunder will see plenty of dubs in the future. Finally, let's go to Game of the Week. For this week's Game of the Week, let's go with the LA Lakers at Miami Heat. This game is on Wednesday, December 4th at 7:30 p.m. While neither of these teams is leading their respective conference or on a crazy win streak, they still are part of the NBA's upper echelon. Miami always prides itself on defense and Heat culture. J.J. Redick has breathed life into the Lakers, who were dead on arrival last year. You know what's interesting about this matchup? Some were considering Redick to be a potential second coming of Pat Riley, the president of the Heat. As head coach, Riley led LA through the Showtime Lakers era, and he also won a championship with Miami. This is Redick's first coaching gig ever. As for Wednesday, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo will be looking for a home victory against LeBron James and Anthony Davis. This should be a good game, but I'll take the Heat 110-106. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on social media. I have 2 X or Twitter accounts and 2 Instagram accounts. The podcast accounts are under @Diehlman_NBA for both X and Instagram. My personal X account is @LarryDiehlman18, and my personal Instagram is @Mr_Sports18. They're also in the description on Buzzsprout, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to spread the word about Diehlman at halftime. See you next time, fellow Hoops fans.